In this week's Sefer Terumah, Kadosh Baruch Hu instructs Moshe Rabbeinu to tell Klal Yisrael, Daber b'nei Yisrael VeYikchu Li Terumah, let them take unto me for my name, Lishmi Terumah, me'ez kol ish asher yidvenu libo tikhu es terumasi. From each and every individual who will be sufficiently inspired to contribute, that is the donor from whom you should accept a contribution. And his Svarno comments, me'ez kol ish, Tziva shelo yigvu bizroa, be'inyan shemamashkenim ala tzedakah, ava yigvu min hamisnadvim bavad. The Svarno points out that whereas we do have a halacha, the morning kedushim, the mamashkenim ala tzedakah, as the Rav Zatzal, as Rav Soloveitchik Zecher Tzadik Levracha once explained, tzedakah is not so much charity as typically defined by society at large, but rather it is not charity, but righteousness, coming from the notion of tzedek. And therefore, memashkin and alat tzedakah. Erev Shabbos, Beis Din could even go ahead and throw a man out of his house, effectively, to take from his house that which he can afford and should be giving to another individual for the purpose of tzedakah. But whereas there is this notion of forcing an individual to give what he can give to another individual in need, when it comes to a public institution such as a Mishkan, this is not the case. By the construct of the Mishkan, me'ez kol ish, tziva shelo yigvu bezroa, they cannot forcibly extract a contribution from an individual like they can do so by tzedakah itself. Why is that so? Asked the Rav Zatzal. And suggested Rav Soloveitchik, the reason is because at the end of the day, Shlomo HaMelech so eloquently declared before HaKadosh Baruch Hu by the inauguration and consecration of the Beis HaMikdash, HaKadosh Baruch Hu needs no place to reside. There is neither place in this universe nor in the heavens that can possibly, fully, and significantly provide a seat for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So God doesn't need a mishkan, a tabernacle in which to display his presence. Rather, suggested the Rav, in essence, man is a homeless being. Homeless in the sense that a person can live in the greatest, most fortified building at large, with any and every form of comfort and security. But at the end of the day, that individual living in such grandeur is subject to the whims and wherefores of weather, tornadoes, hurricanes, of society and people, pogroms, anti-Semitism and persecution, and even the uncertainty of the future. Because whereas animals have no concept of time and therefore no concern regarding future, man very much always has a concern regarding the future. But if he is honest with himself, then he knows and he fully recognizes that he has no control over the future. And much as he can plan, and much as he can set aside, and much as he can envision, the future is always without certainty because it could change the drop of a dime. In terms of one's health, in terms of one's happiness, in terms of one's dreams. And therefore, man is so insecure and so homeless. And knowing this, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says to Moshe Rabbeinu to tell Klal Yisrael, I'm open for business. I am not going to ask them, VeYikchu Li. I'm not going to ask them to give to me. But let them know that I am ready to receive. Because it is only when man understands that HaKadosh Baruch Hu indeed lives near him, in a Mishkan, in a Beis HaMikdash, that there is a place to which one can travel, one could go. And one can feel the Hashras Hashchina, the presence of the Almighty right there, so close to us, as if he embraces us and he's within us. While it is only there, essentially, that man can feel that he has a home. So I guess it's really not so that every man's home is his castle, so much as at the castle of God is potentially every man's home. VeYikchu Li Terumah v'asu li mikdash v'shachanti v'socham. It's not a home for Kadosh Baruch Hu, so much as it is a home for all of us. Have a wonderful Shabbos.